a sedative. No, no,
All right, guys, we about to get this thing started. Yeah, I haven't been on Zoom in so long. We make sure. All right, let's get it, family. First and foremost, I'm just super humble, super grateful just to be here, to be able to put this call on for you guys. Me personally, I've been in this industry for about, I think it's about 8 years now. So I've been trading for about 8 years, and it's been a beautiful thing, man, just to be able to find something that's not only just stretching your mind, but also challenge you to give you an opportunity to actually live a life of freedom. You know what I'm saying? I always preach freedom about anything that you do, man. You kind of want to have access to freedom. You don't want to be too confined to a certain place and a certain person, whatever the case might be. But that's kind of what trading has done for me. And I got a guest on this call, Mr. Jon Fibonacci, and he's a guy that I respect in this industry. I do a lot of studying, in Forex and trading, and I just look for people that's more genuine and understanding. And you can tell when somebody really is in their industry. You can tell about the details and the way that they present certain things and organization, and just they love for what they do. And when you really love something, you talk about it all the time. So when you speak to Jon, when it comes to just this industry, we can talk all day, you know what I'm saying? And it's a beautiful thing just to, to get into a emotion like that, get into a vibe like that. So, being able to have him on this call, for a lot of you guys, you might have seen him in I Am Academy. What's crazy is I'm gonna go back. Me and Jon went to high school together. A lot of you guys might not know that. You probably do. We went to Cypress Falls in Cypress in Texas, Houston, Texas. And it's crazy that we didn't really too much connect like in high school, but we knew of each other. We played a little football. We didn't play too much football, but we played a little football. He's on the team. You went to Truett, right?
What did you say about Truett?
Did you go to Truett, right? With Justice and all them guys?
Mm-mm.
Which school you went to?
I went to Falls.
No, middle school.
Lie
Labai. So you in the Labai. So
Yeah.
he was in the same vicinity. And all of us just all connected within the middle school, going to high school. I was real cool with Mitchell. I don't know if you know Mitchell from Labai. So it's crazy that we all reconnected. And I used to follow him. He was the first person I seen actually like really talking about trading and Facebook. It was with Facebook back then. He was doing long posts. I seen him in the Navy and things of that nature. And he got the Navy and he was just really heavy into trading before I Am Academy was really even I Am Academy. He was really doing it. So a couple times, prior to I was in I Am Academy, but prior to him actually being in I Am Academy, we both was linking up at Starbucks in Cyprus. He was teaching me some things in Cyprus, so where like that was a big turning point in my understanding of like how deep trading gets. You know what I'm saying? So, that's kind of why I did definitely want to get him on this call. So give him his flowers for not basically like putting me in the door and like giving me a better understanding, learn to charge. But he did for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So he don't get enough flowers and enough respect. You know what I'm saying? I've seen a lot of educators before. I've seen a lot of people trade, but the way he do it is it's a lot different. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I definitely want to bring him on the call. So drop some fires in the chat for my guy, Mr. Jon Fibonacci, man. Um, just an incredible mind when it comes to just trading, but outside even trading, just information indeed. So drop hella fires in the chat, man, and we're gonna have this. It's pretty simple conversation before we get into his trading and showing you how he do certain things. But you know what I'm saying. I just want to say I appreciate you, man, and you can definitely take the floor away, and then we'll get into some questions and Q&As afterwards. But whatever it is that you would like to share, from an intro to an advanced style, the floor is yours, and we want to make sure that people just listen to see the value that you bring. So outside of that, I'm gonna make you the host, and we can go from there, bro.
Jeez. Well, that's one hell of an intro, man. I definitely appreciate it. Um, it's not too often that you connect with somebody that you knew from back then. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot of people from high school or middle school or anything like that that does what we do, you know. And so it just brings back a lot of memories. It's funny too because I was actually in an Uber, but the first time when I took my car that I bought recently and I took it past the school, and I looked at all the cars in the like the front parking and even in the back, like the athletic area. And I was looking around and I was just like, these are all the teachers, well, and students too, but there's staff parking, right? And none of them drive anything close, to what I have now. But even back then, it was like these teachers and principals and APs, they're not that successful. You know what I mean? And to now have something that most people will never reach is just an incredible feeling. And it's not even about that. Like, it's not about the revenge and stuff, but when you and I met in high school, I was getting kicked out every year, bro. They were kicking me out of class. They were suspending me all the time. Like, it was
Yeah, I was gonna say before you say, I was gonna say, bro, I think you was pretty bad, bro. Like from what I remember in high school, you used to get in trouble a lot. But I didn't want to make it like I didn't know exactly what it was. So
you know what's funny is I wasn't violent, so I never got into fights. I was never like, I never hit anybody or anything like that. So it was just being, I don't know, mischief, I guess, mischievous or whatever they call it. Like talking in class or being late all the time, just like little things, I guess, that you could get in trouble for. There was one instance, I don't know if you remember Frederick. He was short. Um, he pulled the not the fire alarm. I picked up the phone once. It was a pay phone somewhere in the athletic department, and I picked it up, just pretending to call somebody like a dumbass, like just being stupid because we were all like 12, right? And Frederick dials 911, and I was like, did he really just do that? And I tried to hang up the phone and I missed, so it didn't hang up. It just hung like on the wall. And I went to class. He went to class, and then like an hour later, yeah, we got in trouble like big time. The AP was like, yeah, we caught you on camera, calling the police. They almost evacuated the school. We almost expelled you, all this shit. So it's like, I wasn't even bad per se. I just didn't care, I guess. And once you get labeled a troublemaker, in middle school, high school, it's over. You know what I mean? So there's a target on your back and all that. So they definitely, made things difficult for me, moving forward. But yeah, I remember all that, dude. I remember all that stuff.
and then rest in peace to Fred. Fred died like
Yeah.
right after high school, like literally right after high school, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, man, what a walk down memory lane, man. So yeah, now we here. Huge shout out to my guy John for copping a new whip. What's crazy? We was talking like a year ago, a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, and he was just like, man, only my dream car is a Corvette. The Corvette, whatever color it was, I can't remember what color he said, but he's just like the Corvette. That's my dream car. And shit, he got it. You know what I'm saying? He really got it. And obviously, probably came from trading and doing the things of that nature. But good shout out, man. Manifestation. I remember that whole conversation like it was yesterday. So here we are.
Yeah. I think I wanted orange or yellow. For the 2025 year, they got rid of a lot of the cooler colors. So most of them are white, black, gray. Just kind of the basic colors, not the more exotic colors. But it's not a big deal. And I didn't really tell a lot of people about that, about the Corvettes, because I was getting ready to get it, when we had that conversation, and I just waited a little bit longer, a little bit longer, but I ended up finally pulling the trigger on the 25th of I haven't even had it a full month yet, you know.
No, that's dope, bro. That's dope. It's just cool just to see people talk about certain things and actually get it. You know what I'm saying? I like when people say what they're gonna do and they do what they say. So that's a good thing. But like I said, we did this call to just basically give everybody that just foundation of just understanding like what trading can do and what it takes. And then it's just a personal grind. It's a personal experience, and it's nothing that you can really do to watch somebody else do it. Like you have to do it yourself. So that's the beautiful part about trading. Like that's the reason I started trading, because I didn't like depending on people. I didn't like depending on nobody else. I didn't like what nobody else told me what I had to do. And basically, trading just give you that freedom of getting whatever you desire. You know what I'm saying? If you say you can get it, you can do it. So like I said, huge shout out to my guy Jon. So, like I said, tonight he's just gonna get into a lot of things. We'll do some Q&As at the end, but the way he look at the market is very advanced. I would say it's very advanced, but very simple too. You know what I'm saying? So just if you don't know everything, just follow along. It's called recorded, so he'll probably drop some gems, and he'll give you his YouTube and things of that nature towards the end of the call, and whatnot. But like I said, it's just just seeing from people that's actually having success on how they're looking at the market is gonna give you a better perspective of how you should look at the market. So yeah, we go ahead, man. We go ahead and tap right into it. Yeah, pop up.
What was that last part?
I said we go ahead and get into it, and you, like I said, you can go ahead and do your thing. So where like let everybody get in and just chop it up and see what you got
Gotcha. So as a teacher, I've been teaching for a long time. I think I started teaching in I think it was 2018. I was doing some private stuff, like that was way before the academy, way before YouTube and all that. It does get very complex, but like in depth, right? Once you learn, I guess all the complexities, the in-depth stuff, you can trust the simplification. So, because that's the problem, right? When we simplify things, we may not trust it because we don't understand the why or the how behind it. Like for example, a lot of us trust cars, right? Or we trust the planes. I can't tell you how many parts a plane has. The gas button, start button. I don't even know if it has a start, but I don't even know how you start a plane. You know what I mean? But we trust the pilots to fly it. We trust the engines to spin and take us where we're going, right? But it's other people like the pilot who went to school to learn how to do all that stuff, right? So in trading, it's kind of similar. What I teach is all the complexities. I like getting down into the details, but I do try to take it back and say, okay, this is the who, what, where, when, how, why, all that stuff, and then simplifying it after that, to make, I guess, things a little bit easier, if that makes sense. So I guess if you guys are taking notes, there are 3 pillars to trading success. Okay, let me share my screen real quick. Give me a second. Yeah, we should be pretty good. Can y'all drop some ones in the chat just to make sure you guys can see my chart and everything? I'm gonna change the OBS as well. Okay, cool. Appreciate that. All right. There's 3 pillars to trading success. Okay. One is gonna be your strategy. Okay. One is going to be your strategy, buy low, sell high, right? Simple enough. Number 2 is going to be your risk management. Okay. Risk management. And number 3 is your psychology. Okay. I do have videos on this on my YouTube channel. I called it the Successful Traders Trio, and which I obviously go a lot more in depth in that video than I will on this call. But think of success in trading like a tripod. Okay. Like I have a ring light. I have a couple ring lights actually. And most of them are like a tripod. You know, there's 3 legs to it. And if you take away one of those legs, it's going to fall over, right? So in other words, you have to have all 3. A strategy that wins over time, risk management, meaning small losses, big wins, and your psychology, which is basically the mental skills to implement the first 2, right? To not over leverage or under leverage, or to not, I guess, freestyle your strategy when the markets are moving, you know? So if you're able to have a simple winning strategy with simple risk management that works, and you have at least, you know, minimal skills to follow the strategy and risk management, then you have enough, you know? And then once you have enough, is after that, it's just about scaling up, you know? So instead of risking $10 a trade, you know, now you're risking $100 a trade, or risking $1,000 a trade. And trust me, that gets, that was one of the biggest things that I struggled with over the years, was scaling up, you know, because when you work a 9 to 5 and you know how much you make every 2 weeks, and eventually down the road, you know, now you're putting up a 2-week paycheck on a trade, and it's like, that's not easy psychologically, especially if you lose, or if you lose it quickly. That hurts, you know? But that's like the, I guess, first thing fundamentally to understand the Successful Traders Trio. So I guess I can touch on all 3 of these things. The, I guess, biggest fundamental idea that I teach my students is that the markets are manipulated. Okay. So what does that mean? Well, it means that everything is controlled. Okay. And I know I have an Adidas hat on, but if I could put my tinfoil hat on for a second, everything is controlled if you think about it. Do you grow your own food? Probably not. So you buy food from where? Uber Eats or the grocery store, you know, something like that. So someone else is you know, creating your food. The water that comes out of the faucet, or the water that you get like in these water bottles and stuff, someone else is getting that. Someone else controls that. The TV shows that you watch, if you watch television, someone else is creating that too. So even the music, right? Certain music that we listen to, all of that is controlled. Record labels, you know, Big Brother, if you will. So the fact that the food that we eat, the water that we drink, the content that we consume, social media, you know, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, all that stuff, everything is controlled by someone else. And so if you think about it, if they're controlling it, they're doing it with a purpose. There's a design behind it. Like TikTok is designed to keep you scrolling, to keep you, you know, interacting, to shorten your attention span, and to keep you in the app, right? All social media is designed to keep you there. And I say all that to say, the market, what do you think it's designed to do? What do you think it's, I mean, you can put your answers in the chat. Someone, you know, coded a mechanism to be able to move price up or down, to display the very price that you can see on the chart, right? We have markets are open right now this evening because it is Sunday. We have a gap over here a little bit. So these candlesticks are moving as I'm talking to you, right? So somebody coded a machine to do this stuff, okay? So do you think the market, I know FICO, I got a few of my students around here, so they know. But let me ask you this. What is a casino's job? When you go to a casino, what do you think their intention is? Is their intention to hand you money. Here, come into the golden, what is it? Golden, I almost said corral, golden corral. Come into the golden nugget. We're here to just hand out money. No. Everybody knows that casinos are designed to take your money. But the kicker is they do it in a way where it's not, I guess, it's not just like 100%. You don't just go in there and lose every hand of poker. You don't just, lose every roll of roulette, right? It's the math that works over time. But either way, at a fundamental level, the casino is designed to take your money. Every facet of how a casino is built is to do that. The shiny lights to keep your eyes at eye level, the confusing carpet. The carpet looks all weird and unattractive, again, to keep your attention on the games and the lights. They give you free drinks, so you get liquid courage to hit the ATM after you lose your ass, right? So there's no clocks either, because they don't want you figuring out what time it is and all that stuff. They pump extra air into the room to keep you awake. I'm telling you, everything they do is designed to keep you playing and to keep you at the tables. They have ATMs there, again, to dip into your bank account when you lose your shit. Okay? They're extracting money. Now, they allow some winners, sure. They can't let everybody just straight lose, then nobody would play. But so there's a genius behind it. Okay, everything about it is genius. Okay, the Forex market, the stock market, all of the markets, commodities, options, stocks, all of it. Okay, 100% of it, crypto especially, it's designed to do the same. Okay, that should not be a surprise, especially if you've been trading for a while and if you're not profitable. Oh man, I blew a couple accounts, I lost money here, lost money there. Maybe Jon is on to something. Maybe you're right. Maybe it's designed to take my money from me. It is. Now, the hard part for most people isn't grasping this idea that the market is here to rob you. The hard part is seeing that in the chart. Okay? Seeing that in the charts. That's where people don't get it. And that's why I spend the most amount of time on the charts. So this is my favorite question to ask new people, because number one, I already know the answer. And number two, it's just super, super fun to see. We have about 36 people on the call. Okay, so let's do this. Drop a 2 in the chat. Not yet. Drop a 2 in the chat if you have ever experienced this. You took a trade. Buy or sell, doesn't matter. You took a trade. It hit your stop loss. So you lost money. But weirdly enough, just after you got stopped out, it turns and went the other direction. Maybe you bought it, it went lower, you got stopped out, and then immediately reverse, immediately runs higher. Or maybe you shorted. It went higher, you got stopped out, and then the market dumps lower. And you go, oh my God, what happened? I was right, but I lost money. This is nonsense too. Oh, don't even get me started in sports betting either. All that stuff is rigged, just the same. Okay? But anyway, we're on the charts now, so you guys can see my screen just to make sure, right? I just want to make sure. I know you guys dropped some ones earlier, but okay, appreciate that. So a lot of you threw 2s in the chat. The screen I'm recording on for the YouTube video doesn't have it, but a lot of you dropped 2s in the chat. So do you think what I'm saying has merit? Because Miranda, not sure if we met before, Brian, Paige, Zoom user, some of you I've never met before. We haven't spoke. You know what I'm saying? Eugenia, some of you, this is our first time interacting, but how is it that I know you've experienced that before? You took a trade, got stopped out, then the market reversed. because again, it's designed to do that. So what can you do about it? What can you do about it? Well, you have to learn to recognize manipulation. So in other words, when, like, let's look at this chart. There's a reason that this is on here, just so you know. Just for example's sake, when the market traded lower a few times here, okay, some people bought that. They got stopped out on this run, and then the market ran and made a new high. And all the people that bought down here and they sold at the low are ripping their hair out because they lost money when they were right. What you have to do as a trader, okay, number one is you have to have the patience to not trade. Okay, that's a huge thing for a lot of people. You have to have the patience to not trade. Number two, when you recognize, oh, you know what? This is a trade that I would have taken and I would have got stopped out. But now that I know that and the market's trading higher, now I can get in. Does that make sense? You're reverse engineering what you used to do. So you go, okay, I bought it, I got stopped out, then the market went higher. So instead of going, okay, we have the same setup again, let's try it again, wrong. What's the definition of insanity? Doing the same shit but expecting a different result. So let's not do that. Let's go, okay, the old me would have said, oh yeah, let's buy it, and then got stopped out. When you recognize, oh hey, this would have stopped me out, then right after that, that's when you can enter a trade and go, okay, everyone got stopped out, now I can go long. Or like what I did on Fridays, I waited for this retracement, and then I hate to say it, but I got a perfect entry here, no drawdown, and then it ran. And then I got out one contract here, and the other contract I got out on the way lower. But what I'm saying is, you recognize manipulation and then trade, and that's where the best setups occur. Again, some of my students are on here. They'll tell you if they're still here. Drop a three if you guys are like, yeah, that definitely works. Waiting for people to get stopped out, then entering the market. So that's what this markup in here pretty much was about, where one of the reversal formations, again, that I teach, I call it a 1-2-3 formation. And it's very simple. It's very easy because, quite frankly, that's what it is. It is a series where you have a low, a lower low, and then another low, or excuse me, another lower low after that. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Once you have that, retracements afterwards are where you can get in. Okay. I think, is it Dijon? It's probably not Dijon like mustard, but that's the easiest thing I could think of. It said the power 3, and you'd be correct in that assumption. But the problem with that idea is most people don't use the smaller time frames, so they don't get in near the lows. They try to wait for later, which is not bad, but if you want to capture the majority of a move, then what you're waiting for is, as soon as that second lower low is made, which is the 1-2-3 formation, what I'm looking for, I don't have enough, I guess, in one day to teach you what a shift in price delivery is technically, but we see that with this up candle right here. So this is a 1 minute time frame, by the way. This 1146 candle trades up and through these two down candles here. And because those two down candles are part of this formation here, that right there is a shift in price delivery. Whereas now I'm looking to long when the market goes down and into those down candles right there. So that to me would be a long position. Okay. Now what I did, on Friday, I was on stream and I didn't think that I would be taking any trades. I did actually, but I didn't think I got filled, so I didn't mention it because I had it like off the screen basically. Because I was actually kind of shocked. I was like, oh shit, I'm in a trade right here. Because what I was looking for was higher pricing in the afternoon, and you can tell like the market had traded lower pretty much over and over and over and over again. There's some other forms of analysis, sure, but again, the focus here to keep it simple was the 1 2 3 formation that you see here, buying right after that and then riding the wave higher. Okay, so manipulation, the easiest way to spot it, I have a free beginner series on YouTube that really explains this, but I'll give you a couple things here just to make sure you guys get some value today. The easiest way to spot manipulation. Okay, there's a few different things. So just give me a brief second while I do this. Damn. There we go. Okay. So whenever we're looking at a market, okay, if we see a set of highs, we want to note that. And if the highs are equal, we want to note that as well. Okay. Now I'm going to explain the difference here in just a second. But this is very important. And most of you probably know what this is already. But if you have a set of highs where, don't let me lose you. If you have a set of highs where the high on the right is slightly lower, okay? If you have a set of highs where the high on the right is slightly lower, this is called low resistant highs. It's called low resistant highs. What I'm looking for later on is for the market to seek that. Meaning if we trade, like, let's say a lot lower over like a session or a day or whatever, then at a certain point, I'm going to look for an upside target of these highs. Okay. And when the highs are equal, meaning the price is either identical or very close, those are called equal highs. So those two right there, low resistant highs and equal highs, those are going to be objectives for order pairing. So what that means is when the market trades lower, okay, meaning like you have a probably continued downtrend in this case, a lot of traders want to short a market that keeps going lower because that's, you know, it's the trend, right? The trend is your friend. Okay. Anybody who wants to short or is already short, their stop loss is going to go like basically to the equal highs. Or what a lot of people do is they'll try to short again because they look at this like a resistance level. Like, oh, price traded lower 2 times already. Maybe it'll hit that and trade lower again. And that's not usually what happens. Okay. So because a lot of people trade this way, they have their orders, their stop losses resting at the equal highs or at the low resistant highs, at the levels and above it. Okay. So when you see that, again, that's going to be targets for order pairing, meaning the market's not going to continue lower. It's going to reverse and trade higher to seek that price level, if that makes sense. Like that. Make sense? So again, if we can come back to this manipulation idea, the markets are designed and coded to do this, right? The markets will seek liquidity. The markets will go to where the majority of orders are resting. How do you know where the orders are? Well, you really don't, but you trust, through your studies and through experience. I've been doing this this is my 11th year, by the way. Through experience, through understanding, and for some trial and error, you will eventually learn to trust this. Okay. And so whenever we see levels of liquidity, that's where the markets will reverse to. Now, the same is said for the other side. So like, for example, if I inverted the scale, the drawing, just to show you, okay, because we talked about the market setting highs and then trading lower, the reverse is the same. If we have equal lows and the market's trading higher, that's going to be a target for later. If we have a set of lows where the low on the right is slightly higher, those are going to be low resistant lows. Okay. So right there in the last, I don't know, 15, maybe 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, I just gave you 4 different price targets, meaning where's the market going? It's going to these. Now, whether or not that's going to be a reversal, that's beyond today's presentation. Okay. But here's an easy example. Okay. Right off the rip. Okay. I didn't even need to scroll back into history. This was literally, I guess, Friday and Thursday. What's right here? You have equal lows right there. Market trades down, knocked out anybody that was otherwise long. And then it traded higher, retracement higher above what? You got some highs over here. See that? It's not the cleanest set and probably not a set that I would target, to be fair, but I'm not going to argue with price. Okay. Well, actually, we're still inverted, so that may be different. We set some highs, ran the highs, reversed, and traded lower. So that means what? If the market, okay, if it's going to seek liquidity, that's the move you want to be a part of, right? That's the fundamental question everybody wants to know. Where's the market going? Is it going up? Is it going down? Let me tell you something, okay? As a funded trader, as somebody who does this, and I teach 170 something people in my private community, but I do teach on YouTube as well, 4 times a week for free, publicly, okay? But I do this, all right? That's what everybody wants to know. Where's the market going right now? Higher or lower? Now, here's the thing. I don't always know. Honestly, I'd say probably about 95% of the time, I'm not trading. I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. Because I'm waiting for something to set up and I'm waiting for something to happen. Okay? And once I see, okay, we took some highs, we traded lower. Okay, as soon as we traded lower, well, there's more to it than that, but after a few different signatures, okay, that tells me, hey, we're going lower. That gives me all the conviction I need. That gives me all the probabilities I need to go short and let the market take me lower. Does that make sense? So I'm ideally not looking for scalps. Scalping isn't bad, but it's probably not the best habit to be in, because scalps are just kind of like the samples you get when you go to the mall and you go to the food court and there's that guy with the little plate. He's got the, orange chicken with the, what do you call them? Toothpicks, you know what I'm talking about? And he's like trying to get you to buy a plate. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what scalping is. You get a little bit, you get a little taste, and it's not like a whole combo, whereas the majority of a move, that's what I'm looking for. I want big moves. I want low risk, high reward setups. Now, I have trade recordings all through my history. I literally screen capture a lot of trades. You can see me enter, you can see me exit, stuff like that. And most of my people will tell you, like, yeah, he usually doesn't scalp. Sometimes I'm trying to capture like a day's range. Okay. I'm not trying to get a little bite. I'm trying to fucking eat. Okay. Excuse my language, but you know, this is like lions and gazelles. All right. A lion's not going to try and just get a little piece. He's going to try and get the whole gazelle. You understand? And that's how the markets work. Again, let's come back. The markets are designed to take your money. You think they're going to take a little bit of your money? No. They want your whole bag. Your entire bag. They're coming for it. Okay? The best trades that you're going to take, that you could ever take, is going to be in alignment with the ones who manipulate price. Okay? So take whatever you believe about morality, toss that shit out the window. Okay? Now, I'm not saying don't be a moral person, but in the markets, morals do not exist. It's buying and selling, and that's it. So if the market is going lower, you can't stop it. George Soros couldn't stop it. Elon Musk couldn't stop it. Okay? Because it's all coded and designed to do this. So when you recognize, again, hey, everyone else got knocked out. Now we're going to go lower. Okay, cool. I'm looking for retracements higher to short and win and make money and then get out of there. Okay? So what I taught you so far was how to identify liquidity in the marketplace, equal highs, equal lows, low resistant highs, low resistant lows. I taught you 2 different easy reversal formations. That's the, well, here, I'll come back and do this again. I don't think I drew it out for you per se, but it looks like that. Okay, the 1, 2, 3 highs to go lower, or 1, 2, 3 lows, excuse me, to go higher. Now, there's obviously, you know, more to it than that. There's higher time frame stuff. There's like roadmaps and all kind of shit. But to keep it basic and simple for you to study, because as soon as this call is over, or you know, throughout this week, you guys should go into your charts and look for this stuff because it's there. Okay. And I just, again, want to keep it simple. So how to identify liquidity in the marketplace. I gave you 4 different things to look for. I gave you 2 easy reversal formations. Okay. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to speed this up. I'm going to give you 2 concepts for risk management. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 concepts in risk management. It's very simple, but I promise you, most of you will not do this unless you have discipline. And I get it. If you have a small trading account, you're going to say, this is absolutely stupid, but you know, we all have to grow sometime. So think what you want. What's really stupid is what they're teaching kids in school these days. That's what's really fucking stupid. All right. Risk management key concepts. Number 1, max daily loss limit. Okay. 1 to 2%. 1 to 2%. I'll blow this up. I know it's, I know the font's a little low. Okay, can you guys see that? Is that big enough for you to read? 1% to 2% max daily loss limit. That means whatever your account size is, $100, $1,000, $100,000, whatever. 1 to 2%. That's how much. Okay, that if I was a new trader, this is what I would stick to. If you're trading live, okay, no more than 1 to 2% per day. Now, you could also have a week, like a max daily loss for the week. You could say maybe 5 or 6% if you'd like. That, you know, maybe you screw it up on Monday, you screw it up on Tuesday, and then, you know, Wednesday you screw it up again, just stop. No trading Thursday, no trading Friday, and just end it, okay? So you could have a max daily loss limit weekly as well, okay? Set that at whatever you want. But I'm telling you, 1 to 2% is going to prevent you from ever blowing an account ever again. Okay? And I mean that. You'll never blow an account again if you respect 1 to 2% per day. and a weekly one. All right. Now, number 2, this is super, super important. All right. And it will not make sense until you, I guess, until you do it, really. Most people, when they place a bet or they lose money, their first instinct is, I got to get it back. Their first instinct is, well, I risked $50 and lost it. Let me double it. Let me risk $100 so I can get, my 50 back plus more. Okay. So what a lot of people do is they increase risk. And I'm here to tell you, do the opposite. Okay. Do the opposite. So instead of increasing risk after a losing streak, reduce risk after a losing streak, not increase. Okay? Not increase. And I'm telling you, some of you might not agree. You might think, no, that's both of those are stupid. Then again, you can think whatever you want. You're all free people. We're all free here. Okay? Think whatever you want. But after doing this a long time, after teaching thousands of people, hell, after changing the fucking MLM industry in part, okay? I'm telling you, reducing risk after a losing streak, not increasing. Okay? So those are your only 2 ideas for tonight when it comes to risk management key concepts, right? So I gave you some liquidity ideas. I gave you some reversal formations. I gave you some risk management key concepts. So for the last portion, we'll go over the third thing of the trading psychology side. So real quick, I do want to pause here for just a second, just to see, Troy, if you have anything, if you want, if you have any questions so far or anything that you want to contribute before we move forward, then I will definitely allow you to do so.
And I'm man, pretty much on the same page. Definitely you did a great job just going into detail about the liquidity, top side, downside, and things of that nature. So we're pretty much all on the same page when it comes to that. Just a lot more, detail of the way you break it down, especially the 3-point moves and things of that nature. So yeah, and then like I said, the risk management concepts is good for people that's beginning trading, whatever your risk management is. It just depends on your personality, your limits. But this is a consistent way to become a good trader. You know what I'm saying, without losing too much money as well. So that's a key limit to a lot of you guys that's on this call. So people that understand these different mechanisms of trading, whether it's like liquidity graphs, all that good stuff, they have a lot of experience of losses and wins in this market to where they can start seeing these patterns a little clearer. So you'll get to see, exactly how your risk management things are come together with your skill. But in the meantime, if you can't really mark up a chart and find these trades on your own, like, this is a good concept of learning. You know what I'm saying? Without losing all your money and things of that nature. So it's that's pretty good as well. So that's all I got to contribute.
Gotcha. All right. Appreciate that. All right. So we'll continue. We'll probably go over the hour, to be honest. I usually try to keep calls just about an hour, just because the attention span for most people after an hour, people start getting on their phone and shit, and they just, don't pay attention. So I won't hold you too long, but I do want to give you a couple more things. Real quick, actually, before we get into the mindset, let me give you a couple ideas on building discipline, if you guys are cool with that. Because a lot of people think like, oh, I have discipline. You might, but trading is not the same. Okay. You can be, and Mark Douglas talks about that in Trading in the Zone and The Disciplined Trader, which are 2 book recommendations, by the way, if you didn't catch that. Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas and The Disciplined Trader by Mark Douglas. And I have a stack of books for you at the end as well, but those 2 are really good. And he talks about that. He's like, you could bring doctors, lawyers, business owners, people that are happily married or whatever. You could bring people that are successful in other areas. You put them into trading and it's not the same. the same things that they did to create discipline in other areas, it didn't translate over into trading. It just didn't, you know. So you could have a beach body, right? You could be in shape or whatever, but that doesn't mean you might have body discipline, right? Physical discipline, but you might not have mental discipline. You might not have emotional discipline when it comes to trading. Does that make sense? So let me give you a couple basics for this real quick. Number one, do hard things. That's a book by Steve Magnus. You don't have to read it. I'm not going to talk about that one tonight anyway. But number one, do hard things means like get up on time. Take a cold bath or a cold plunge if you've never done one. You know, do things that make you uncomfortable. You have to decide what that is for you, because there's like 36 of you on here, so you know I can't give you all the analogies and examples in the world, but there are things that you avoid, right? You avoid going on a diet. You avoid waking up on time. Hey, I'm with you on that. So I got sleeping problems, so I get it. But there are other things that you can do that are difficult. And by overcoming those challenges, that's going to help you build discipline. Okay, so do hard things. Number two, start small and build up. Okay. Anybody that goes to the gym knows that you don't just go right to the heaviest weight on any machine or any, y'all know what I'm talking about, the lifts and all that shit. Nobody goes and just goes for the max weight right at the beginning. You start small and you build your way up, right? And that's the same thing with doing hard things. Start small and build your way up. Number three, show up no matter what. Okay, I quit trading a dozen times my first year. My first and second year, I probably quit like 7 or 8 times. But like a week or two later, I was back. You know, you just got to show up. For me, this was kind of like no plan B shit, because I was in the military at the time and I was like, this ain't it either. So it's either going to be trading or death, honestly. So I had to figure this shit out. Show up no matter what. Number 4, clean your room and your desk. Clean out your car. Okay. My back seat used to be a trash can. I don't have a back seat anymore, but you know, I've been there, done that. So clean up your room, clean up your desk. I know I have a couple water bottles, but mainly I got to keep things clean. And it's the same thing with the car. Most people don't have clean cars. It's okay. But why is that though? We get comfortable and we make it a bad habit. You scrunch up that McDonald's bag, toss it in the back, or you got a water bottle, half empty water bottles and shit all in the passengers. Like, I get it, bro. I get it. But you got to keep a clean room. And by doing stuff like that, that will help clean your mind and just get you in the habit of doing the little things. Because if you're too small for the little things, you'll be too small for the big things, like trading. Okay. Number 5, take breaks and rest appropriately. Who got that right on the first try, baby? Look at that. Take breaks and rest appropriately. All right. My favorite example when it comes to this is actually Rick Ross. So I used to listen to a lot of Rick Ross back in the day. I broke all my speakers, you know, listening to Can't Hold Me Back and, you know, all that stuff. So he, I think, had 2 different like heart attacks, basically, where he almost died because he didn't get a lot of sleep. Well, he was heavily overweight too, but he never got a lot of sleep. And although you could become successful doing that, you cannot sustain success doing that. That whole like 4 or 5 hours of sleep every night thing, that only leads to burnout, and that leads to poor memory, poor performance. It's just not ideal. So take breaks, don't burn yourself out, and rest appropriately. Okay. And number 6, I think this is the last one for this part. Number 6, focus on the process, not the outcome. Okay. By focusing on the process, that's how you're able to do your best. The outcome will take care of itself. If I'm focused on finding a good setup, managing the risk, we still won't know the outcome of a trade. Every time we enter a trade, we don't know if it's going to be a winner or a loser or break even. We don't know. But if we do our process, the outcome will take care of itself. Just like if you flip a coin, you can do this exercise. You could flip a coin, okay? And heads is, let's say, you lose $1, and tails is you win $2. You know, something simple like that. And you just keep flipping and keep flipping and keep flipping. After about 50 to 100 flips, you're going to come out on top. Because you're not worried about, is it going to be heads or is it going to be tails at the moment? We don't know. Every flip will be completely random. There's no way we could guess every single flip. But you know what? After 50, after 100 flips, I can guarantee you, you're going to be profitable in that exercise because you're letting the outcome, the math, you're letting the math pan out. Does it make sense? So focus on the process, not the outcome. All right. The last part for today is going to be the mindset of a winner. Okay. The mindset of a winner. I'll give you some book recommendations, and then we can get prepared for the rest of the week. Okay. Does that sound good to you? Drop some threes in the chat. That sounds good to you guys. We'll go over the mindset of a winner. We'll talk about a couple books. We'll do some Q&A if you'd like as well. And then we will do whatever else it is we got to do. All right. The mindset of a winner. This one, a lot of people may not agree with. But again, I'm not here to tell you what you want to hear. I'm telling you what you need to hear. All right. So number one, and this goes beyond trading, by the way. Number one, delay gratification. Okay. Delay gratification. I drove old cars. Always had, I've had Oldsmobiles. I've had, many Cadillacs, love Cadillac. It's just the Bose speakers, dude. There's just something about the music. They're just insane. I've had Cadillacs, Oldsmobiles. I forget some of the super older stuff, but you know, I drove older cars up until about 3 weeks ago. Okay. Then I got the cool shit. Then I got the car that, I don't know, everybody breaks their fucking neck trying to look at it. It actually had a kid fall off his bike yesterday. It was the funniest thing. He was like, "Oh my God, there's the car," because his friends were there. He's like, there's a car. And he falls off his bike. I was just like, bro, it ain't that serious. But I'm 31 years old, bro. Okay. I'm 31 years old. I didn't buy almost a supercar when I was in my 20s. Okay. I delayed a lot of gratification, instant gratification, I don't know, trying to get drunk on the weekends or wanting to spend all your money and not saving and stuff like that. It's not, you don't want to do that. So delay gratification. Number two, turn obstacles into opportunities. And I know it might sound a little cliche, right? Turn obstacles to opportunities. Oh, that sounds like something they would say at the, what was it called? DMC was the in-school suspension. ALC, there we go, ALC. I never went to ALC, but I knew a lot of people that did. And I think one time I went to an alternative school for, I think, like a month or two with all like the dropouts and the teen moms and, I don't know, the drug dealers and just not the best people. Okay. I mean, I wasn't the best person either, but you know, it's one of those cliche things that they tell what is it? Minor setback for a major comeback, all that fucking bullshit. Right. Again, excuse my French, but it's true though. It's true. Turn obstacles to opportunities. Now, only you can do that though. You have to go through whatever it is that you're going through and learn from it. Okay. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but I went through a lot of stuff in my life too. You know, people hated me because I'm white, white skin, and everybody's Not every person is racist, but every race has like their people where they're like, oh, fuck everybody else, right? So I've been there, done that. But I got to learn from that. By people not liking me for being a man, for being white, for being a white man. Come on. In today's world, bro, we won't get into it, but come on, bro. White people have been under fire for a little while, right? That creates problems. But you know what? I turn those into opportunities. Okay? And I say, you know what? I'm not going to be like that. Instead of hating other people, I'm going to love other people. Instead of trying to tear others down, I'm going to try and build others up. You know, hop on a Zoom call, drop some knowledge, maybe tell some jokes. I don't know. Right? And when you serve other people, when you become a better person, opportunities will present themselves to you. Okay? And you can elevate. Number 3, stack probabilities. Nothing is absolute. Okay? Stack probabilities, nothing is absolute. And again, this goes beyond trading. All right? Stack everything in your favor. Nothing is ever guaranteed. Right? Every time we get in the car, it's not guaranteed we're going to make it to where we're going. Accidents happen all the time. You know what I mean? So, in trading, not every trade is going to be a winner, but we want to stack the probabilities. All right? Number 4, say no to distractions. Every level in life, whether you're a beginner, intermediate, expert, whatever, there's always going to be distractions. Maybe someone has a crush on you, knowing that you're married, but they're still trying to flirt with you, right? That's a distraction. Learn to say no, right? Or, I don't know. I think that's a pretty good example. Y'all get what I'm saying. Say no to distractions. Number 5, do your best. Always. Okay? Always do your best. And a lot of us don't do this. We go to, let's say, if we have a job, right? If you have a job and you go to work and you're like, oh, fuck this job. You know, my coworkers are this or that. I don't get paid enough. I do so much work. I'm always stressed out. I got bills due, all this stuff. How you do one thing is how you do everything. Okay? So if you're not giving your best at work, you're probably not giving your best at home. You're probably not giving your best in other areas, even though you could. And that's the problem. You could do better, but you don't. Okay? That's not good. That's not good. All right, number 6. Probably the biggest one out of this current list, the mindset of a winner. Number 6, avoid the victim mentality. I cannot tell you how many people I've met throughout life, and I probably used to be this too. I probably used to be just like that. But how many people, drop a 4 in the chat if you know people like this. Something is always someone else's fault. It ain't never their fault. It's always someone else's fault. Oh, the government. Oh, the weather. Oh, my best friend. Oh, my kids this. My mom that. My dad this. Oh, interest rate this. Trump that. President such and such. All this stuff. They're always blaming, they're always blaming external circumstances or ideas or what. It's always other people, but it's never their fault, right? You done been through 12 divorces, right? But it ain't your fault, as if you're not the common denominator here, right? In life, okay, everything can either happen to you or it can happen for you. You understand? It can either happen to you or for you. And earlier we talked about turning obstacles to opportunities. Okay? Avoid the victim mentality. You can be a victim or you can be victorious, but you cannot be both. You understand? You can be a victim or victorious, but not both. So choose wisely. Number 7. There's only one more. Okay? Number 7, take responsibility for your life. Oop. Number 7, take responsibility for your life. It may not be your fault entirely why you are where you are. Okay? It may not be, because certain things do happen. Maybe you got in a car accident. Maybe you got hurt. Maybe you just couldn't, maybe school wasn't for you. I don't know. I mean, certain things can happen to you, yes. Okay? But one thing you need to understand is it may not be your fault entirely why you are where you are today, but moving forward, it is. Okay? It's your responsibility where you end up. We don't choose like who we're born to. We don't choose our parents, our family and stuff, right? We may not choose how we grew up. Some of us might have some trauma from when we were younger. I get it. I understand. I get that. Not everybody, has perfect parents and perfect situations. I get it. And it may not be your fault, but you get to decide where you end up. You understand? So take responsibility for your life. Stop blaming everybody else. And the last thing, I want to give you a quote from Epictetus. Matter of fact, this is the same one that's on my phone. I share this all the time. I know you can't see it, but I'm going to tell it to you. All right. But Epictetus was a crippled slave 2,000 years ago who later became a Stoic philosopher and teacher. But Troy, I think I shared this with you before when like a year and some change ago. But here's the quote. It's not things that upset us. It's our judgments about things. Okay. I think it was in Hamlet. Nothing is good or bad, but thinking makes it so. Right. So what does that mean? It means it's not things that upset us. It's our judgments about things. Okay. You get to decide if things are good or bad or indifferent. Okay. You don't have to have an opinion about everything. You really don't. Oh, what about this person? What about that person? What about this album? What about what's on the news? What about what's on Twitter? You don't have to have an opinion about everything. And everything doesn't have to be bad or good. Okay. But I'll let you decide a little bit more in that regard. But that's going to be it for as far as the content goes. So just real quick before we continue into the book side and the Q&A, real quick, we went over the successful traders trio, the 3 things that every successful trader needs. You have to have all 3, not 1 or 2. Your strategy, your risk management, and your psychology. The psychology to implement 1 and 2. I gave you 4 different targets for targeting liquidity, right? Order pairing, basically, which is the equal highs, low resistant highs, and the invert, the lows, and low resistant lows. I gave you 2 reversal formations. I gave you 2 core concepts in risk management. We talked a little bit on building discipline. That way, if you're disciplined in your personal life, you'll be disciplined into your trading, okay? Because you have to have both, right? It doesn't work any other way. And then the mindset of a winner, all right? So if you guys got some value so far, drop some 5s into the chat. I would greatly appreciate that. And yeah, if you guys have any questions, you can go ahead and drop them into the chat. I'll toss it back to Troy one more time because we only got like a few more minutes. There's just a couple books that I want to give you guys. That way you get some more value. You can go purchase some, or you can get them online somewhere. I ain't gonna stop you. Just get them somehow, okay? But that way you can get more value by reading those, and then you can elevate, and you'll be a better person in the next 90 days than you were today. So, Troy, if you have anything to, I guess, close us out here in just a minute, the floor is yours.
Yeah, man. I definitely, like I said, I definitely appreciate you for hopping on the call, giving me some of these foundational things that we need in the trading market, trading world. A lot of the people that's on the call, pretty much, they are pretty active in the trading world, whether they advance or basic, they take trades, things of that nature. So everything you said was kind of spot on for whatever it is that somebody can grab to better their trading. One thing that on the building of discipline is I started seeing a lot more success in trading in 2022. But they say do the hard things, and one hard thing that I hated doing was running. So I
Mhm.
started running miles. I started running miles. I still run miles still to this day. And I never ran miles days in my life, but that cleared up a lot of clarity in my head and able to like really start going in and grasping information and things of that nature. But when you start doing the hard things, you'll start to develop a sense of inspiration. You know what I'm saying? So if you feel like you're in a position or don't know where you're at, just try some shit that you never once did that you thought you couldn't do, and you just got to start doing it consistently. And you'll start to see it in your trading. You know what I'm saying? And the thing he did say about discipline, like discipline in trading is different than discipline in a lot of different things. So as you work on your discipline in trading, it's crazy how everything else becomes discipline. You can't have discipline everywhere else and bring it to trading, but if you can do it in trading, you can have it everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? That's a big thing. So trading is one of those obstacles that you do have to commit to, and once you get over that obstacle and things like John said, it was either life or death. You know what I'm saying? It got to that point. Like me too. I personally had a background to where I couldn't get the jobs that I wanted no more. So it was just like I got to do this, or really I got to throw away some. I got to figure out something else. But this came up more opportunist. You know what I'm saying? Opportunist to me for my life at that point in time, and it was just do or die at that point in time. So a lot of people not in that situation, but it just shows you how serious you got to take it if you do want that understanding and that life of freedom and things of that nature. So even still to myself, I still trade, still study all the time. You know what I'm saying? And I just developed strategy. You know what I'm saying? To the point where it took 6, 7, 8 years, but it's a strategy, and I have my own risk management and psychological about certain things in the market as well. So you all are developed that over time as you put that certain amount of time and hours into trading. So like I said, I like to bring people on these calls like John and give different perspectives of what you can cater to the market. Because I tell people the market is not all about, you taking everybody else stuff and making yours. It's about you having your own personality and making trading your personality. You know what I'm saying? So as you grow in your personality, you grow in information, you'll show how you'll see how to fit trading into your personality and not become a stick in the market. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's different, but everybody can win in their own personality and things of that nature. You just have to figure out that niche. So, but now everything else is cool, man. I don't have too many more questions. Like I said, I study I study a lot of the information that John went over, especially like on his YouTube, things of that nature. So I don't really just reach out to a lot of traders because I just see their information is already there. You know what I'm saying? Whatever they're gonna teach you here, they probably already taught it on YouTube or somewhere else. So you gotta do your due diligence. This is just an introduction to people that actually do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? For instance, John, he does this. You got Ram, you got Khalil, you got me, you got other people that actually do this. But this is an introduction to someone that I know personally that I studied up under as well. So outside of that, I appreciate your time, and if y'all got a couple questions, you can ask me.
Yeah, and I greatly appreciate that. Before I share the books that there's only six. Um, there's only six books that I want to give you guys a chance to look at and write down. Before I do that, do you have any book recommendations that might have helped you, and not even trading, but like just in general, maybe like mindset or any type of book that maybe helped change your life?
Say again. Say the last part again, John.
Like whatever, like it doesn't even have to be a trading book. Like, is there any book that you read that helped change your life that you're like, oh yeah, you got to read this book?
Yeah, bro, it was kind of crazy because I was in college and I was like, I wasn't trying to go to the NFL, but my career was ending, and I was into finance. I went to school for finance. Well, I went to school for computer information systems, and I graduated with a finance degree. But I read this book. I was always looking at the news called "The Sale of a Lifetime," and basically it was showing like the cycles of bubble bursts, and everything is controlled. You know what I'm saying? So I read this book, And it wasn't just like him predicting cycles and bubble bursts. It was actually like factual breakdowns and a lot of quantum, a lot of things in that book that kind of taught me the different like change in my perspective. Like me personally, leadership, I used to always do leadership since I was a quarterback. I was a quarterback, so I studied leadership a long time. So it wasn't the leadership that I needed, it was the information that I needed. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So that now when I read books, it's more so about information. I feel like being a good person, being a genuine person is not hard. People make it hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like in my situation, like I didn't have a lot of people that just had the information. You know what I'm saying? They just had to say, you got to go to school, you got to go do this. So the Sell of a Lifetime had the information that I needed to start put myself in a position to understand the financial markets and how it's programmed. And that just led me down a whole rabbit hole of just looking at a lot of different information and taking it in and looking at it and studying it in the sense of how I feel and what I know. You know what I'm saying? Not necessarily what I feel, but what I know, so I don't make decisions based on how I feel. So
Right.
it changed my perspective and looked in things a lot more intuitively than trying to look at it how somebody else's opinion may affect you. You know what I'm saying? In my culture, in my world, people have strong opinions, but they don't never have facts. You know what I'm
Ooh.
saying? So that's kind of where I had to separate myself. And when I read that book, it was nothing but facts. That's really like one of the, like I'm one of them people to where like I don't read books. I'm one of the people that feel like I can write the books. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
A lot of people have that experience. I get a lot of experience. I get a lot of enjoyment out of experiences. Like I don't want nobody to tell me what's gonna happen. I want to do it, and then I can give my own honest opinion behind what happened. So ever since I read that book, it kind of opened up a lot of things. So A Sale of a Lifetime, I forget the author name, but it was a gem, bro. It's happening right now. So like everything he spoke about in that book is happening like as we speak.
Yeah, we're kind of like shifting over into AI, right now. Like crypto, obviously the last few years, and even a couple years ago started the AI train. So we're definitely going down that right
and
now.
and the thing is, it's just like an opportunity for anybody that has information. Like information plus risk, give you a chance to really win. So a lot of people might be scared right now, but it's really the only chance that you got to really go put yourself in position to win for the next 5, 10, 20 years. So like a lot of people that's in the fear mindset, they're gonna be stuck, you know what I'm saying? Because right now is the mindset to win. Like you see the mindset of a winner, everything that like John talked about on those notes, it's like those are everything that you need to really turn up right now. And like you gotta put them in play like as soon as possible because time move pretty fast and it's like a 2 to 4 year gap right now to where you can really get in where you fit in right in that moment because a lot of things changing. Like just in my understanding of the world, it's just like Trump just changed the whole fucking like layout of what the world was. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's controlled or not, it's just like it's not going to be the same. From the last 20 years, 30 years that we've been living. I'm 30 years old, 31 years old. So like we seen a drastic change in the world after we turned 10. After we turned 10, cell phones became about.
Mm-hmm.
Like we went from beepers, we went from a lot of things to where we was able to see the transition from like how slow it was before to how fast it sped up within 1990, 2000. Like that was a critical transition in the world, and we was able to see it. And like now, the next 20 years that we seen, it was kind of like harsh, but like now it's an opportunity time for people. Like it's just
Opened it? Did I get one?
might say something.
On
Oh,
me.
for 2024.
I think it's on mute. But yeah, man. So yeah, Set of a Lifetime is probably the main book. I mean, I had some leadership books, but as I read them, I kind of understand exactly what it is.
Yeah. You know what's funny too? Before I give these six, what's funny that when you were quarterback, okay, when I was in middle school, I had played flag football and I was a quarterback. Of course, when we got to high school though, you were always taller than me. You could launch the ball way farther than me too. And so what happened was it's funny. That's why I was Deep Snapper, actually. Because the coaches or whatever, I was like, bro, like I played quarterback. I don't know what else to play. And they were like, oh, well, this, that, and the third. I was like, let me just do deep snap then. And so it's just like being a QB, but upside down.
Yeah, it is, because you got to throw the ball. Like, you literally, the D snap, you got to throw the ball. Like, it's kind of like it's a different type of spin you got to have on it, but it's the same thing.
We had a soccer player, Giovanni something. Yeah, I hit him in the chest every time. Because I was just like, bro, I'm a QB. I don't know, like. So, but anyway, they booted me out in after the first year, or sometime within the first year, because I didn't show up to like a Saturday practice or something. I was like, my fucking parents aren't home. I couldn't make it. They were like, oh, well, you're cut from the team. I'm like, well, fuck this. I'm out anyway. So, but nah, I just thought that was cool. Let me share these 6 real quick, and then we can hop off. All right, because I know a few people already left, but let's just go ahead and end this real quick. Let me share these 6. All right. If you want to write these down, here you go. This is my most recent read, How Successful People Grow by John C. Maxwell. I actually just shared a book. I shared a reel on this a few minutes ago on my book page. I'll put it in the chat. It's at the Wall Shelf on Instagram. And my Instagram is at Jon Fibonacci. You can actually put that into Google if you'd like. You could Google me and see all my YouTube and all that shit. Number 2, this was the first book I ever read in a day. I actually read it at a coffee shop at Starbucks, in the same Starbucks that Troy and I went to a few years ago. It was at that Starbucks I read this one. This was the first book I ever read in a day. How Successful People Think by John C. Maxwell. Okay? So that's number 1 and number 2. Number 3, Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. Arguably the greatest book recommendation I've ever given out, just based on the feedback from people that I get. They always say they love this one. So Stillness is the Key by Ryan Holiday. If you don't like reading books, if you don't think you have time, and if you want like a shorter book, that's fine. The Art of Living by Epictetus. That's the same guy I quoted earlier. It's your judgments about things. This is the Sharon LaBelle translation. Okay, this is what it looks like. It's very thin. Okay, it's not. This one is quality, not quantity. Okay, so it's super good. All right, that's number 4. Number 5. If there was 2 books that I would want you to get from this list, this is one of them. This is Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. If you've ever heard of that name before, Marcus Aurelius, okay, that was the Roman emperor in 161 AD, 2,000 years ago. This was his private journal. Have you ever watched Gladiator? Gladiator, one of the best movies of all time. That and The Matrix, okay? Number 1 and number 2 movies right there. Matrix is number 1. Keanu Reeves. Number 2 is Gladiator with Russell Crowe. Okay? But this was the old guy in that movie. It's really, really good. You need to read it. Okay? Now, I'll share one more with you, then we'll hop off. If there's only one book that I could get you to read, if there's only one thing I could get you to do today besides take notes, okay, this is it right here. It's like $16 on Amazon. I'm not even going to drop my link to make money off you or anything. I just want you to get it, okay? It's 1 page every single day. That's it. 1 page every single day. It's called The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman, okay? The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. Let me show you. It's just 1 page. Like May 6th, May 7th, that's it. Maybe 1 or 2 paragraphs, a quote, and that's it on Stoic philosophy, which is basically the cornerstone, the foundation of today's personal development. Okay? So there you have it. The Daily Stoic, Meditations, The Art of Living, Stillness is the Key, How Successful People Think, and How successful people grow. Again, my name is Jon Fibonacci. Y'all be good, be blessed. If you subscribe to my YouTube, I go live 4 times every week, totally for free. You can come hang out, learn some stuff, ask questions. Sometimes I'm funny, and that's it. So y'all have a blessed rest of your weekend. Have a good night. Have an amazing week. And I will see you guys soon. We can do this again, Troy, anytime you want to do this again. I'm totally down for it and all that. So thank you, brother, for inviting me out here. I had fun. I know you guys got some value between us both. So thank you.
All right, let's get it, man. Appreciate y'all. Yo.
Recording stopped.